Hi everyone, this is Tracy from Be Well, Be Keto, and I am super excited today to interview a couple from Utah who started Keto Chow.
Welcome to the Be Well, Be Keto podcast, where we showcase ordinary people who have achieved extraordinary results. Your host is the high-energy girl, Tracy Gluhite.
Hey guys, this is Chris and Miriam, and they started Keto Chow. They live in Utah and have 6 kids. So I just wanted you guys to meet them and we can hear their story. So thanks you guys for being on the show today. And why don't you guys tell me about yourselves before you even found the ketogenic diet?
Do you want to start off?
We've been married for 17 years. And like you said, we had 6 kids. We have 2 sets of twins. And anyway, we're just normal people.
Yeah. So Miriam, so I've been working as like a computer guy my whole life. And people always say, well, does Miriam work? And I would always say she's not gainfully employed outside the home.
But 6 kids, she's working her butt off.
Yes, she's very much so. So that's what she has been doing for the longest time. Now she kind of runs a business. It's kind of cool.
Okay. So tell me about, before we get to the business, tell me how you even found keto.
So one of our sons, we like you said, we have 6 kids. We have 2 sons. Our oldest son, he started having epileptic seizures. And it got to the point where, how many had we gone through?
Medicines?
Yeah,
we
12?
went through 12 different anti-convulsant medicines for him before we found one that worked. And so they're like, well, we're going to try this last medicine, but if it doesn't work, you're going to need to put him on a ketogenic diet. And we're like, what is that?
She brought home the packet,
this
and
is
I looked
my
through
3-year-old that we had to put on the diet here. And it's just like, it's hard.
Yeah.
So,
and I looked through it and I was like, you got to be kidding.
Did he do it?
Well, they were going to, they were going to do it, but we were still going to try out that last medicine.
Yeah.
And then it ended up controlling his seizures. And then he actually tapered off and doesn't have seizures anymore. So hopefully he never, ever has seizures anymore. But he hasn't had seizures in 5 years. So he's doing fantastic. So
now he's 8?
Yeah, now he's
11.
He's 11. So it's actually, because he seized for like a year and a half. And so, his last seizure was 5 years ago. Yeah. So.
And the information packet that they gave us, like I said, I read through it and I was like, no, wow, this is like way crazy. These people eat fat all the time, because I was still in the sad mentality and the whole deal. And then a couple of years later, I just started doing keto, just kind of on my own, because I wanted to lose weight. And I had read that, oh, hey, this keto thing, you can do it. And I didn't research it very well. I ended up getting Keto Flu real bad. And I was laying in bed and I just felt awful. And I was like, I feel like I have the flu. What is this? And so I Googled Keto Flu.
That's a real thing.
It's a thing. And so I made myself some chicken broth and I felt better like that. Now I just drink.
How quickly, Chris?
It was 5 minutes that I felt better. It was almost huge. Immediate. It was just, nowadays I just drink pickle juice if I'm feeling under the weather, but
I still drink chicken broth because it's yummy.
No, I like pickle juice.
Yes, do I.
I can never throw it away. Once the jar is empty of pickles, I still have to finish the juice.
Yep.
That's awesome. So tell me, Chris, when you started keto, you said you started it to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
Did you lose weight?
Yeah, I lost about 60 pounds.
Wow. And what length of time?
So I started, it was almost 3 years ago this month is when I started. It was like October 20-something of 2014. And I was down to about 60 pounds after about 7 or 8 months.
That is so fast.
Well, it's because I'm a guy. So
yeah, whatever. Brag.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying we all lose it different.
Right.
And I have a coworker. So because I'm doing keto, I have coworkers at my day job who pretty much all of them have switched over. It's really hilarious. We'll do some sort of a meeting, and some vendor wants to bring in food, and it's like, well, what are you going to bring? And they're like, I would bring in some sandwiches. And like, no, you're bringing in barbecue. We want brisket and we want sausage. But anyway, so one of my coworkers, he started the keto diet. His wife actually, she got her gallbladder out. And surprisingly, keto has been really good for her. It's normally people with gallbladders, it's hard for them because, they don't have that. They can't do the fat stuff and everything.
Yeah, the bile, yeah.
Yeah, but for her, it's actually just been a complete turnaround. It's just wonderful for her. She's like, I don't ever want to stop because I just feel so great. So that's fantastic. But so she was doing it and he was doing it, and she's like, yeah, so I've lost about 5 pounds. How much have you lost? And he's like,
yeah,
I don't want to tell you.
I know. I've been there, done that with my husband. Oh, I just keep losing weight. I'm like, whatever, like, I don't want to hear it.
We're all different, and
guys and girls are different too.
Yeah, it's harder for women. So.
Oh yeah, because we have all that wonderful estrogen in our body, right?
Yeah.
Not to mention those cycles that just mess up everything.
Well, I'm too old for that. I've had that in 5 years or so. Lucky me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all good. So your son, what's his name?
Max.
Max, how's Max doing now? And tell me, what does his diet look like versus, is it different? Is it a different ratio than your guys' is, or?
Since KetoCon, we came home and put him on keto.